Welcome to the Grow in Sahuarita podcast, where we talk about all things to growing your business in Sahuarita. Enjoy this episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Grow in Sahuarita podcast. My name is Alex Magallanes, Economic Development Specialist for the Town of Sahuarita and the lead for the Grow in Sahuarita program. If you've been following along with us, you know we've been covering some big themes already. We talked about the 5 C's of credit, how lenders make decisions, right? We've also discussed the importance of moving the needle every day in your business. Most recently, we dug into resilience and how to stay strong when challenges come your way. Today, I want to take it a bit further and talk about something that's just as important as your finances, your habits, and your mindset. And that is the people around you, your network, your sphere of influence, your mentors, your community. Because entrepreneurship is just not a solo sport, even though you may be a solopreneur, maybe you're a single member LLC. But every successful business, whether it's a home-based side hustle or a growing company here in town, depends on relationships. Every business. And really, to my opinion, I think business is a lot of the art of relationship building. So if you can learn how to intentionally build and nurture those relationships, you'll be setting yourself up for more opportunities that you can imagine. Now, if you're an introvert like myself, I don't want you to, I don't want you to change the channel or turn me off. Just hear me out. If you're an introvert, I used to hear talks like this about networking and talking to other people, and it would actually make me anxious just because I'm a natural introvert. But networking doesn't mean that you have to be or force yourself to be an extroverted person. Nothing wrong with being an extroverted person. Actually, my wife, she's like almost 100% extrovert. I'm almost 100% introvert. And we level out from each other, right? Especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. And so being an extrovert is actually something very good. I've learned some good pointers from someone who is very extroverted and likewise or otherwise as well. But being an introvert, not a bad thing. And it doesn't mean that you have to be 100% around people. What I am talking about is just having a good network where you are intentionally building those relationships. That's what it's all about. And I want to submit to you that most introverted or introverts, we work well with when we're in small settings, right? Small groups. Maybe we're all sitting at a table. Maybe you're doing one-on-one versus larger groups. And if you're an extroverted, you're probably going to work well with either setting. It doesn't matter. You just like people. You like to talk to people. You approach people. You're a conversation starter, so on and so forth. And again, whether you're an introvert or an extroverted person, networking really matters. So why am I saying these things? According to LinkedIn, about 85% of jobs are filled through networking. In other words, word of mouth. Now, that's employment data, but it illustrates something that is powerful. People hire, people buy from, and invest in people they know and trust. And that's just as true in business. So when you have a strong network, again, it doesn't matter whether you're an introverted or an extroverted person, but you build those relationships that are key for you, for your business, then you will have access to information, resources, referrals, and even encouragement when things get tough or challenging. And in a community like Sahuarita, we're still growing, right? So networking is even more powerful because you can connect directly with decision makers, right? If you've ever been at a town event, you'll probably run into Mayor Murphy. You'll run into our town council members, right? Because they're just community members just like you and I, right? You'll run into myself. You'll run into Dustin here, who is producing this podcast with me. You probably see me taking pictures and video in any town event. So what I'm saying is that we're still a small community, and you can connect. You can easily connect with other people. And then more so, you can even connect with future customers. So our size, it's really not a limitation. It's actually an advantage, right? Being a small community, it's actually an advantage. So when you think of your network, think of it as a part of your business toolkit. Just as you have financial systems or marketing tools, and we've talked about automation and technology tools like AI, you also need relationships. So it cannot be everything technology, being just behind a computer, try to sell your products on e-commerce or on Facebook, on a residential Facebook group. You also need that human interaction, what I would call that relationship capital, in order to grow your business. So what does networking actually look like? So here are different kinds of networking. Obviously, number one is peer-to-peer networking. You can connect with other small business owners in Sahuarita. You learn from each other. You can learn their wins, their mistakes, right? You can swap ideas and sometimes even collaborate. And in the last podcast, I talked about how we recently put together 2 entrepreneurs that are involved in our program, and we introduced them in person at the state of the town. And now they're building, in between them, they're building a referral system. They're building a partnership, not combining their businesses, but really just building a partnership. And that's beautiful to see because they're going to support each other in growing their business. Another way that you can grow your network is by seeking mentorship. Having someone a few steps ahead of you who can provide perspective and advice, it's gold. So through the Grow in Sahuarita program, we actually have on-call mentors who are ready to walk alongside you. These are community members who have done that, have been there, they got the T-shirt, right? They've had challenges, but they have also learned how to pivot their business. And so I want to give a shout out to our on-call mentors, Nicole and Jennifer. If you're listening to this podcast, shout out to you. Nicole, she has a successful marketing business in town, but she's serving nationally. And Jennifer, she's a very successful realtor agent in town. And so, and they're on-call mentors. And what happens is that we look into community members that they're entrepreneurs. They have that entrepreneurial spirit, but also have the experience, and they can give you that feedback that you need, right? And so having that mentorship, it really works. And of course, you have myself and all the other business coaches within the program, such as Hillary and Stephanie. Number 3, you can also do or build institutional connections. And that sounds fancy, but what it means is it's just building relationships with the town, build relationships with the Chamber of Commerce. The folks over there at the Green Valley Sahuarita Chamber of Commerce, Randy, Mia, PJ, great folks, always, honestly, at a phone call distance. You can stop and visit. They're super resourceful. You don't have to necessarily be a member, although you actually benefit a lot from being a member, but you don't have to be a member. They're always resourceful. You can also use banks. You can use our community resource center, which is at the Sahuarita Food Bank. The folks over there, Carlos, there's so many resources around you. You can just connect, right? And obviously you have county offices as well. And so what happens is that these are people who can help open doors, right? They're well connected, right, in the community and in the broader community. They're well connected with resources in Tucson, in Green Valley, even at the border. And they can help you make that connection to that next potential customer, that next potential client. And so that will open doors, and they can also provide guidance through the process. And of course, you have the Grow in Sahuarita program, which we are also very well connected, and we can also help you with that. Another way that you can build that network is just through your customers, right? You have probably those loyal customers that are often or have become perhaps advocates of your business, right? They like your product, they like your business, they like your service. But sometimes, actually, and oftentimes, you can look at them more than just a customer or a client. Any person has a sphere of influence. And sometimes you can leverage that, right, for your business. So look at your loyal customers, and they can, besides being your best advocates, they can also make that introduction to other resources. And so networking with them means you stay engaged with them, you listen to their feedback, you ask questions, right? Hey, how was your last experience with my service? How did that go? Did you like it? And then they can give you feedback, right? And then turning happy customers into ambassadors, it's definitely a goal for your business. And it all happens when you take the time to listen to your customers, receive their feedback, adjust, pivot, and then you can turn happy customers into ambassadors. So all that to say that networking is just not about just handing out business cards, right? Although that is helpful, but it's not limited to, handing out business cards and doing, handshaking people's hands, right? It's about building layers of support around your business. So how do you actually build a network here in Sahuarita? Well, number one, you have to show up, right? Networking, it's definitely relationship building. Networking is the art of relationship building. So attend events like Fiesta Sahuarita, become a vendor if you want to, or if you're not a vendor, at least walk around, introduce yourself to other businesses, especially if your business model is B2B. We also have business workshops here at the town that are in person. This is a great opportunity for you to come in person, network with other entrepreneurs. You never know who you meet. Every event is really an opportunity to introduce yourself and your business. Secondly, leverage digital networking. So there's many of you are already active on local or residential or resident Facebook groups. That's another way to leverage digital networking, right? Comment on other people's business, right? When they're selling a product and maybe you already became a customer, like give them a shout out. That's a good way to build that community and networking. Definitely look out for people or specific or key connections on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great tool for that. If you use apps like WhatsApp, there's WhatsApp circles for entrepreneurs. Now, be careful with those. There's some of them are kind of shady out there. They're scammers. So just keep an eye on that. But there's lots of groups, whether it's on Facebook, WhatsApp, so on and so forth. And then if you can't make it to an in-person event, just get active online as well. Another way that you can build your network is give with the give first rule, right? What does that mean? So just don't show up looking for what others can do for you, right? When you go to a networking event or an in-person event, ask yourself, how can I add value to this relationship? And the previous podcast, we talked about mindset shift mindset shifts. Sorry about that. And so that's another way as entrepreneur, right? You have to lead yourself and you're shifting your mindset instead of me, take, right? Ask yourself, okay, and there's a relationship, I'm building this relationship. How can I add value to this? Maybe you can, another way or a way that you can add value to a relationship is you share a resource. Maybe you help two people connect with each other so that they meet. Maybe you just cheer someone else, right? You give them a shout out. And so all of those activities really help build trust. And then trust builds stronger networks. Another tip of how you can build your network is just doing that follow-up, right? How many times you run into someone, whether it's at Fry's or Safeway, Walmart, what have you, the gas station, you're like, hey, yeah, we should follow up with each other. We should go out for a coffee. And it just never happens, right? Like, like that's happened to me. I'm guilty of that. I've done that, numerous times. But talking about mind shifts, right, is just really following up. Like network is not just about how many people you're going to meet, how many business cards you're going to have on your desk, right? It's really about following up. And so, and building that relationship. So sometimes it looks like you send that thank you message. Hey, it was good seeing you at the gas station. How about we set a date, right, for a coffee? Maybe you look them up on LinkedIn and you actually connect with them. And so that's how you turn contacts into real connections. What all this activity it's going to do, it's going to give you a real life impact on your network. And so in the beginning of this podcast, I talked about it doesn't matter whether you're an introverted or extroverted person. What it's going to do is it's actually going to impact your life, but also your business. And one of the things I've seen through the Grow in Sahuarita program specifically is just one single introduction can change the trajectory of a business. I've seen it in the last few years. We've been implementing this program. A local entrepreneur might come in and they needed help with capital, marketing, operations. And then through the connection, right, and building their network, they get introduced to another resource. And that connection leads to something greater, whether it's funding or they close up a deal and eventually leads to grow. And if you are a home-based business, whether you're a food business looking to be exposed to the community, right, so you can sell your products, what we'd help you do here at the town is we help you connect maybe with a vendor or with our Parks and Rec, or if you're looking to expand your business, right? You already have a storefront and you're looking for expansion, we'll help you connect with the right resources. And that's another way to build your business. And so suddenly, when you are working steadily to build those relationships, suddenly they're just not making sales. Then you're meeting new customers, and those customers are going to spread the word. And so networking really works like dominoes, right? The domino effect is once one falls down, that leads to the other one and the next one, so on and so forth. So one connection can be what sets off a chain reaction. And that's what networking is. So that's why I keep saying it doesn't matter introverted or extroverted. Sometimes it starts just with the one relationship. So here's my challenge to you this week. Attend at least one networking event in the next month. Again, it could be a town workshop. If you want to stay put and what workshops are coming up next, we have a page on Eventbrite as well on our social media channels. We post about them all the time. Look up when it's the next Chamber of Commerce mixer, right? Or even just introducing yourself to another entrepreneur in your neighborhood. If you know your neighbor has another home-based business, introduce yourself. And so take that step and then follow up with at least one person you meet. And that's my challenge to you. If you're not sure where to start, reach out to us at grow@sahuaritaaz.gov. Again, that is grow@sahuaritaaz.gov. And we'll help you plug into opportunities. I will make that my personal goal. That's my commitment to you. If you reach out to us, I will help you plug in to the community and other opportunities. So let me close with this. Entrepreneurship, it's not meant to be that lonely road, right? What it really means is that when you grow your network, you grow your business. So relationships that you build today may become the partnerships that carry your business in the future. That's very possible. So keep moving the needle, right? Stay resilient, and then now build your network. And together, we're not only building businesses, we're going to build a connected, stronger entrepreneurial community in Sahuarita. So thank you so much for tuning in to this Grown Sahuarita podcast. Until next time, keep growing, keep connecting, and keep believing in the power of community.